Why don't you give me a sign? Like the sea that leaves a trail along that shore. It's not your problem, it's mine. Everybody thinks that I'm okay. Sometimes I think I am too. I'm on the outside looking in. I'm waiting for the shockwaves to begin. Oh, won't you let me hold you for one time? Just a rainy day in a London cafe, a London cafe. So give me one last serenade. Say to me, or swear at me till the night turns into day. And it was a shame when daylight faded, because we didn't notice at all.
I want to study the world, to see how things are connected.
Where are you going?
The technical school for artists.
The women's entrance is in the back.
Hello, I'm Sophia Jessica, and welcome to the Fan Carpet.
Tora and I play the same character. She plays the character from the age of 17 till 45, and then I take over when she's 65 and until she dies. There's a gap in the middle there, but we play Hilma, the Swedish painter who was a pioneer and a scientist and an amazing artist who now, so many decades after she passed away, has this moment in the world where people are opening up their eyes and their hearts to her art and what she was trying to say all those years ago.
And I play the younger version, so we see the beginning of when she loses her sister and her path to starting to try to find her sister and how that gets her into spiritism and her journey to start painting.
Yeah.
I had, this was 4 years ago. I didn't know about this painter until 4 years ago when Lena mentioned her name and told me a little about her. I started to Google her. I had a break from a film I just made and wanted to find something new to do. I always dreamt about working on a family project with the two of them because I had worked with her in smaller parts and auditioned her and knew that she was brilliant, and she is brilliant in the film. And Lena is a solid, brilliant talent that I used a couple of times, and now we're working with all three of them. All three.
Me, Hilma, Tora.
Okay, next. First challenge was to find the money to make it. There was an early plan to make it in Swedish, in Sweden. That would have been like a first instinct. Now we're making it for a wider audience. It's not so we're set in Sweden, and it's set in the period, but it's in English, and it's by doing that we're reaching a bigger audience, which is great.
So I live in New York, and I was familiar with it through them first, and then she had her big Guggenheim exhibition, and I went to that, saw the documentary, and it was just spine-chilling seeing, what she saw and the reception that she got in New York. Everyone I knew was going to the exhibition and talking about it, which I feel like doesn't happen with art exhibitions that broadly. And to see the drawing that she had of her spiral temple compared with the Guggenheim, and then going there yourself and seeing it in person was amazing. So I was familiar with it just through her popularity in New York during that time, and through the documentary.
Yeah. And I find it so moving. And when I first went to Guggenheim, which we obviously did then, because Lasse also wanted to do some of the documentary parts at the Guggenheim. And when we first went and I saw Paintings for the Future, which was what they called the exhibition, it's so moving to me that she trusted us to receive her message, to get it, and to have the courage and the patience to be the world is not ready. I'm not gonna live through my glory, but save it, hide it, and show it when the world is ready. So I find that extremely moving to have that gut feeling and to trust it and to trust us.
I'm going to take the whole experience with me, because I spent 4 years doing research about her and her times, and it's changed my life. I'm more of a believer in a spiritual world, and I'm much more open to that idea now after having worked together with Hilma and her project.
I think on the final day of filming, you really felt that not only were we family, but the entire crew and cast and everyone became a big family. And I remember I'd never been so emotional leaving a group of people in my life, and just feeling, how much everybody loved each other and believed in this project and didn't want it to end.
No.
I think was really beautiful, and I'll remember that day forever, even though the entire experience was incredible.
My biggest, I think that I'm going to take everything with me, obviously, for the rest of my life. But when Tora FaceTimed with Lasse after the first day of shooting, or not the very first day, but when she really, a couple of days in, when she'd been in an ice-cold puddle of water, crying her eyes out the whole day, and she just FaceTimed to say to Lasse how happy she was and how thankful and grateful she was to be getting this opportunity, and how right everything felt. And I saw in her face that, God, this is where she belongs really. And that was a wonderful memory.
There were a couple things we talked about. I mean, first of all, since we're related, I think that helps because we have very similar mannerisms already, just like how we authentically are. But then, of course, we're playing a character. And we talked a lot about how she moves, how, it is a period piece, but just like what we know about her, that she was really courageous and lived in a way that you weren't expected to as a woman during that time, and has almost kind of like a boyish energy to her. We both agreed on, and that influenced the way she moved. And she when she got the assignment from the spirits, they told her to, don't eat meat, refrain from eating salty foods, like all these things that would help her create a clearer channel to the spirit world. And so you came up with, I think, that it would be fun that when she's stressed out or has like a tough moment, that she kind of like eats to numb the pain or to not feel as stressed, and so that we keep through the film, and it's fun.
Yeah. I feel like when you starve yourself, which most actresses has a relation to, I think that you're constantly hungry, and you're constantly, so if you have the kind of, she gets so hit right in the face so many times through her life, and when she's at some kind of emotional bottom, when she's at rock bottom, I think that's when she's like, okay, is there food to eat, just like you said, to numb the pain. And I think that makes sense, and I think it's very relatable, actually.
Tora, I'm gonna go. Just keep going. Well, I mean, we made the film a year ago, but even in the last year, it's become even more clear that there's never been a more important time to see a story about a woman who, despite everything against her, was brave enough to believe that there's a brighter future, that we will understand her in the future, and to be able to maintain that hope and joy for what she did through all that hardship, and be able to see, and now we think, I mean, this isn't known, that she saw the Guggenheim, she saw that we were going to understand, but to be able to be brave enough to keep going and persist in a world that didn't want her. She was in the wrong time. And I think all women today feel that and need that hope and that light.
Yeah, we're in the wrong time now. Women are. I mean, it's really. So I think it's huge. I can only agree with what you put it so perfectly. I agree. Yeah.
Oh, I've been making films since I was 10 years old. I don't know if it's the storytelling. I'm just love to get deep into different worlds and learn about them and tell about them. For some reason, I'm also I like character-driven stories, not so much, I'm not a storyteller. I'm not a good storyteller, I think. I'm more of an interest in
Character studies.
Characters and people and portrayal of those relations.
I think
So
if I'm...
how do I answer this question?
No, I think I can answer a bit of your question, because you're such a visual storyteller. Like, when we live, since we live with Lasse, there's always a camera, there's always something, like, even if we're, missing a train and super annoyed, he gets the camera up, because that's interesting, and that's a bit of the story. Or if we're actually, are you shooting this? We're actually arguing. Or if it's something, that is your way of, and if we've been to some nice street with friends, Lasse sends a movie and he filmed it, and in a very discreet way. But I think that's you tell stories in images, which is like what a filmmaker should do, I guess.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. Please follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram for more content next time.
I was holding the brush, but I didn't paint it myself.
We need to show this work for all of us.
What do you think?
They just can't see exactly what you see.
No one understands what you're doing. Hilma Olin?
Sorry, it's an old photo.
I'm here on the largest of the Balearic Islands, Mallorca. With the turquoise waters of the Mediterranean Sea, beautiful mountainous landscape, the thriving city of Palma, quaint little market towns, a growing number of luxury hotels, it's no surprise that the likes of Audrey Hepburn and Elizabeth Taylor like to holiday here. So come and join me as I take you round Mallorca.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. If you like this video, be sure to click that thumbs up button at the bottom of your screen. And also be sure to subscribe to the Fan Carpet YouTube channels. They're absolutely free and so much fun too. Be sure to check out the official website, thefancarpet.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date with reviews, competitions, the latest news, and so much more.